Maggie, good morning. I wanted to look over Training Peaks together with you here in this short video and tell you a little bit about how the last couple weeks have gone and also answer back to your email. And really the last couple weeks have been very strong. You've hit all the key and major sessions, and really liking where this is going towards Cozumel. And I want to give you more specific feedback on this email here that you sent me, and also tell you a little bit about what I'm looking for and where we go from here. So in your email here, you said that you had a hard time with heart rate goals, and you said that the RPE felt right for that workout on the 19th. Now, as far as exceeding TSS and planned TSS, if I plan TSS for you, it's based on a power TSS or a pace TSS. Heart rate is going to be fickle and is not nearly as absolute as the TSS that's planned for pace and power. So there's times when you may have a very high and sustained heart rate, or even if you're staying at goal, high zone 2 gives you more points per minute for TSS than does, for instance, low zone 2. So even in like the warm up and the warm down, you know, normally for low pace zones, you'll get less TSS points. So I generally see from most folks that with a heart rate TSS calculation that they get more TSS points per minute. That's totally okay. Whatever we do though, we want to do it the same way each time with TSS. So if you're getting a heart rate TSS instead of a power TSS or a pace TSS, for every workout, try and do it the same way so that we're comparing apples to apples. So that's the first question I wanted to answer. Then the next one says, you were running in Central Park and you're trying to keep your heart rate low. These long, slow sessions are designed to really teach your body economy. And I know there are some faster workouts and higher heart rate workouts that you have in there, and your heart can only beat so many times in a week. So we have to just respect the heart rate. However, at the end of workouts, I don't have a problem with you liberalizing heart rate and going up, a half zone or even up to a zone 3 from the bottom, let's say zone 2. So, you were capped here at heart rate of 145. As long as at the end of the run, you're able to bring it up just a little bit, and I'm talking about like the final third of a run or the final third of a bike. That's okay, because that helps us with the negative split, and it does raise the overall pace. So that's totally fine. But really the low heart rate stuff and choosing courses where to run and bike, that definitely impacts how you would perform. So if you don't have a flat course, yeah, certainly you're going to have to walk to keep heart rate down. And as I said, you can liberalize it a bit. Don't get too hung up on just sticking to one specific number, but really these numbers are there to kind of preserve you for Ironman, and so that you can really get in more during the week. So every once in a while, totally okay to flip it up a little bit and see what's under the hood. That's really not a problem. I'm just trying to, like I said, keep you in the zone for where you're going to be doing the bulk of the Ironman race, and keep you from blowing up during some of these longer days and sessions. So like we dive into like Saturday the 12th here, and this is a run that's a good challenging run. It's a pretty solid tempo run, seeing zones 2, 3, and 4, and raising your heart rate throughout the set. This was a really nice run for you, and as you can see, let's go to the graph, you certainly should have been able to hit some pretty higher paces. And this is a long day, 3 hours on the bike, and then another good 90 minutes off the bike. So 3-hour bike, yeah, 90-minute run, and here you're really punching it up. This is really good stuff. I mean, your peak heart rate was looking really nice. You brought it up throughout the entire set, so that your peak 10 minutes was at the end of the run, 12 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, all in the whole second half. That's awesome. It's totally the best way to pace. This is exactly what I'm looking for. When we look at the time in zones for you and all of your training, the majority of the Ironman is going to be spent at zone 2. Unless the heart rate zones are off, I know you're talking about how sometimes some of these workouts feel just guilty pleasurely easy, or not guilty pleasurely easily, but that they may not be as challenging for you, or you feel like you could go more. That's okay. You want to allow yourself to outperform in some of these workouts. Now, if you feel like we're holding way too far back, then we might need to revisit pace zones versus heart rate zones for running, for instance. But when I look at the dashboard, the majority of your training, almost 80 to 90%, is going to be zone 2, zone 3. So this past week was excellent. So actually the last 2 weeks were really excellent. I'm going to pull up a little bit more to see your heart rate zones to make sure that you've been spending a proportionate amount of time in the right zones. And we're scrolling down. So heart rate zones for bike, zone 2 aerobic, that's your biggest bucket. That's awesome. That's a great place to live. You spent the majority of your time there. Let's see, zone 3, you've got a good chunk there too. Zone 4, good chunk there. And while we don't have a whole lot at zone 5, that's totally okay. You can raise threshold even doing these intermediate time trials like a CP60, CP120, any CP can actually influence and raise threshold. You don't actually have to do threshold work to achieve that. So keep up the great work in terms of pacing with heart rate and power. I know there's a lot of different things to be tracking in your metrics, but really overall, from where you are, you don't have too much more time here to Cozumel, and we're going to really start going the distance here and start cranking up longer runs and longer bikes. But overall, the intensity of these 2 Saturday sessions are extremely good. The first Saturday of the 12th, your run was exceptional. And let's talk more and touch base live about whether or not this is just too easy for you. I'm happy to we haven't done formalized heart rate and metabolic testing. But I want to make sure that these heart rate zones are okay for you. But you're toggling pace and heart rate zones here. So hope I'm not rambling too much for you, but wanted to give you as much as I could in this video. And also to get back to you on the extra $10 a month charge there. That's for Training Peaks Premium. So if I hadn't been charging you in the past, it should be on there. So that's in addition to the $250 per month. So if you have any questions about any of that, just give me a buzz, shoot me an email, a text. But stay warm, stay upright on the bike, stretch often, and keep yourself healthy because we got a nice big block coming up, and I'm excited to see where you can take this. All right, Maggie, have a great rest of your morning, and keep up the great training, and I'll talk with you real soon.